Australia might have a new Prime Minister tonight. Voters have flocked to the polls today, and the race between current PM Scott Morrison and Labor leader Anthony Albanese could not be tighter.
Australian correspondent Emma Cropper is with us live from a polling station in Sydney. And Emma, you've just had a high-profile voter through the doors.
Yeah, everyone down here at the very quiet Lilly-Pilly polling station was in quite a bit of shock when a very calm-looking Scott Morrison showed up, surrounded by an incredible amount of fanfare and media. He walked through the school gates here with his wife Jenny by his side and his two young children to vote. The campaign trail came to an end at the place where he's probably best known. Scott Morrison casting his own vote in the electorate where his political career began.
Here we go.
His opposition down the road in Sydney too.
I want the dog.
Labor's Anthony Albanese hasn't lost an opinion poll the entire campaign, but Scott Morrison is now close on his heels. These could be Scott Morrison's final hours as Australia's Prime Minister, the man everyone first knew as Scotty from marketing, who got his start promoting New Zealand tourism. Australia's the only country on his mind today. Have you guys decided who you'll vote for? Do you know what you're going to do when you get in there?
Yeah, it's pretty much so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it exciting? Is it nerve-wracking?
It's both. We're really hoping for some change in Australia.
I'm just so exciting, you know. I don't know anything about any of the parties and I go in there and have to make an informed decision.
So you're undecided right now?
Yeah, very much so, yes.
More than 17 million Australians will cast their vote today in a country where it's illegal not to. But for the first time in Australia's history, there's been a record number of voters, with more than half of them making up their mind before today. But those who hadn't walked away with Australia's famous democracy sausage, one free to every voter. How important is the democracy sausage today?
Very important, very important.
Perhaps not as important as the outcome of this once in every 3-year poll.
OK, Emma, when can we expect a result?
Well, Tom, the polls are still open here in Australia for another 2 hours, and it will probably be around 10, 11 o'clock in New Zealand that we'll start getting a fair idea of what those results are going to look like. But there is the very real possibility of a hung parliament here in Australia. So we may not know who the winner is tonight, and that is really because Australia has been so divided throughout this entire election that a lot of people are putting their support behind the teal independent candidates, which means the two major parties may not get enough votes tonight to form a government. Now, if that happens, they'll spend the next few days going to coalition negotiations with these independent candidates to see who can win the most seats by joining forces with them to gain power. But it will be a very interesting night. We'll be with Scott Morrison tonight, and I think it's going to be a very long night, and if it's a hung parliament, a very long few days in Australian politics.
Tense times. Thanks very much. That's Emma Cropper in Sydney.